The Association for Nutrition is currently consulting on proposed amendments to our registration competencies and degree accreditation standards. The consultation, which opened in May, is being held via an online portal and responses can be submitted until midnight on Friday the 29th of July. The AFN is a registered charity and the independent regulator for registered nutritionists, holding the UK Voluntary Register of Nutritionists or UKVRN. The AFN also accredits degree programmes that meet our standards. Registrants on the UKVRN must develop, demonstrate and maintain the competencies needed to practice safely and effectively, with registered associate nutritionists progressing to become registered nutritionists. Currently, associate nutritionists must demonstrate knowledge and understanding in 5 core competency areas, and registered nutritionists must do the same, plus demonstrate the practical application of this within a specialist area of practice. Competencies can be understood as the skills, knowledge and values that help make a professional person more effective in their position. The UKVRN is a competency-based register of individual nutritionists who are qualified and competent in nutrition science and who agree to uphold professional and ethical standards through a comprehensive code of conduct, which is the AFN Standards of Ethics, Conduct and Performance. Only individuals who meet the required standards expected in evidence-based science and professional practice can be admitted to and remain on the UKVRN. As a regulatory body, we routinely and periodically review our competencies and standards to ensure that they reflect any developments in the environment. This consultation is about proposed amendments to our core competencies for registration and our standards for degree accreditation. Over recent months, we have conducted a review of our core competencies to ensure the competency requirements for UKVRN registration remain relevant to ensure safe and competent practice of registrants and to maintain the public and employers' trust in the profession. We've gathered insight, feedback and opinions from registrants, both A-Nutra and R-Nutra, non-registrant allied health professionals such as dietitians, employers of nutritionists and academics via focus groups and an online questionnaire, which everyone was invited to take part in. All of the work done by AFN in this review was overseen by a working group of the Registration and Accreditation Committees and signed off throughout several stages by the Registration Committee before going to Council and then ultimately being launched in the consultation that we have out now. Feedback generally fell into 6 key areas: guidance, style and structure, examples, skills and knowledge gap, reframing A-Nutra core competencies into more practical statements, and governance and transfer. Style and structure was also a large area of interest, with many people feeding back that the wording needed to be updated. Some statements could be reduced and combined, they were very knowledge-based, and that some would fit better in different areas and new areas could be introduced or expanded upon. The largest skills and knowledge gap identified was communication skills, of which a broad range of communication skills were highlighted as being essential for an A-Nutra to step into a graduate role. This was closely followed by practical skills, with many respondents calling for core competencies specific to independent practice. Following the review, we went away and worked on making these changes, so every amendment and update that you see in our proposals was informed by you and your feedback during the review process, so a big thank you to everyone for taking part. Based on our research findings and feedback received, an AFN working group comprising members of the Registration and Accreditation Committees has reviewed, developed and produced 3 drafts of our core competency requirements: A-Nutra competencies, R-Nutra competencies, and a newly developed set of AFN independent practice competencies. Professional Conduct and Practice, formerly CC5, has moved to being CC1, demonstrating how it is overarching and underpinned by the rest of the competency areas. Taxonomies of learning have been applied to position these clearly as competencies, and language further up the taxonomy has been used in the R-Nutra document to show a clear progression from A-Nutra. Sub-competency statements have been split by knowledge and understanding and practical application, and knows how shows how split. And this is to address gaps in practical skills and to further display progression from A-Nutra to R-Nutra. At A neutral level, most statements fall under knowledge and understanding, whereas at R neutral level, most will fall under practical application. Following feedback, 3 core competency areas have been renamed. Science has become science and research skills, food or feed chain has become food systems, and professional conduct has become professional conduct and practice. We are also proposing a third short set of competencies specific to freelance and independent practice. AFN registrants working in independent practice are currently expected to demonstrate that they have the skills and knowledge required to do so, while also upholding the AFN standards of ethics, conduct and performance and working within their individual scope of practice. We developed this new set in the same manner as the others, and we are proposing that this new set of competencies sits alongside the A Neutra and R Neutra competencies for all registrants working in freelance and independent practice.